Open fracture. His foot was actually completely turned up when we got there. Get that board underneath the sheet, you know, and we'll slide you over.
It's Monday night in resus at the Royal London. Normally one of the busiest nights of the week. Tonight it's a bit quieter. But that's not a word they use round these parts.
Whenever we get a chance where it's slightly less busy to do it, we need to be cracking on with it.
You didn't say quiet, did you?
I didn't, no, because we never say the Q word.
The Q word is a bit of a no-no. I mean, I'm not as superstitious as some people, but you don't say it in case it all goes wrong, and then it's obviously going to be my fault if I've said the word.
They're right to be cautious because it's not long before seriously ill patients begin to arrive.
This gentleman is relatively young and he's collapsed at work and he has had a hemorrhagic stroke into his brainstem.
The London is one of the capital's hyper-acute stroke units. Patients brought here instead of their nearest hospital for specialist care.
I've seen people who are sick, but that's probably the first time that it's sort of been me being the first person seeing them and being the first person looking after them. And when someone's so young, I mean, it doesn't matter how old they are or who they are. I think it's just that you always think of, you can see someone that you know in them, and that's always hard.
Everyone was wondering how come you're playing football at this time.
Moments later, a man is brought in with a badly broken ankle.
Why are you cutting his clothes off?
He asked to do because it was too sore.
You said, look at this little blonde nurse, can you cut my clothes off?
My wife's outside.
But while he's being treated, you can hear another patient, all too typical of what staff face here on a nightly basis.
Took one of my socks, but they let me keep the other. You know why? Because I'm yeah.
He's had too much to drink and he's worried about where his socks are. 20 feet away, the man who's had a stroke is being wheeled in for a brain scan. And we had the guy in earlier.
Yeah.
Does that drive you nuts a little bit?
It makes you question why you do it sometimes, but I think it's pinch of salt. You get the brilliant patients that come back and say thank you, and that makes it all worth it.
Two
eyes from the Homerton.
And a chest drain.
And a chest drain. And some traction.
Okay.
And some sedation.
Fine.
It may not be as busy as usual in resus, but the rest of the emergency department is. There are 110 patients in the rest of the A&E.
Well, what we're going to find is a load of people on trolleys or beds waiting for admission, and there's a mismatch between the time people leave the hospital and the time people need beds in the hospital, and that's pretty much a national thing.
The red shows you the number of patients who've waited more than the target of 4 hours to be admitted.
Mondays are the worst day. There's a crossover between weekends have low discharges, Mondays have high attendances. So Mondays used to always be the worst day. Mondays and Tuesdays are now vying, with the odd Thursday thrown in. So it used to be predictably...
So that's our week, basically.
Well, it used to be predictably Monday was the worst day, and it's now less predictable. But yeah, the whole week can be bad, and winter's definitely started.
Hi, can I get cubicle 6 in resus out to cubes, please?
Staff here may avoid the Q word, but in winter especially, that won't stop it being busy. It is not a quiet season. Karl Mercer, BBC London News.